Hello and welcome back to some Plane Accident. Been really enjoying playing this. So far we've played the tutorial, we've played our first case. We're now going to go into our second actual case called the Goldberg case. It's a brilliant game. If you haven't already seen it, it's basically plane accident like CSI. It's your job to investigate the case, find out why it crashed, and then put together a case for it. Really fun. Great little game. A lot of detail. A lot of little details that you have to get that are now getting more and more in depth. Obviously the training was very basic. Then the next adventure was slightly more in depth, having to make phone calls and plot together. So this one should be that little bit more in depth again. So we're going to jump in. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's go. A plane has crashed on the reservation near Carltown. A Beechcraft Sundowner C-23 light aircraft has crashed. The weather conditions were ideal. The pilot, Alfred Goldberg, did not survive. The body has been secured by the appropriate services. Discover the cause of the crash. Okay. Let's jump in. Airplane accident. Where are we? Okay, we've just rocked up in a little suburban village. Grab our backpack. Go find the wreckage. I'm going to presume the wreckage is... Okay, there's a little hillbilly shack. It's got to be in the woods somewhere. It's not going to put me miles away, surely. Okay, we got a little festival camp. There it is. I see it through the trees. Beautiful. Right. So we've found the wreckage. We're now already looking for evidence to secure. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of evidence to secure. I'm already seeing stuff over the side. Oh, it's on fire. We gotta put this out. Go back to work. Bang. Right, we have secured this. Right, we have evidence over here. Mark this evidence. We have evidence back here. Quite a lot of it by the looks of it. We have plane wing. We have aileron. We have more ailerons. I think that's what they're called, ailerons. Okay, there's not that. Right, it looks like the plane's dragged for a long way. So it's come from this direction. So my natural presumption is there would be more wreckage this way. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we've secured that bit of wreckage. All the bits of wreckage here seem secure. Right. What's this? Oh no, it's a rock. Okay. Let's go. So now, let's... Oh, is this a piece? No, that's a rock. Anything over by the fence? But we can see. Okay, we have the propeller there. Right, something is going to be hiding in plain sight. So let's throw our drone up. We're going to scan for the map to begin with. We have 6 pieces of evidence we are yet to find. Zone 2. Zone 1. Okay, there is a lot of evidence we haven't got yet. There's one really big piece by the looks of it that we stood right next to. Okay, we are literally stood right next to a load of evidence, apparently. Apparently there's evidence here that... okay, this needs all needs marking inside the zone. Okay. Okay, right. So now we need to find the rest of the evidence. Okay, we've got that bit of evidence. Right, so now we have directly in front of us this way some more stuff. Remember, some of this could be fake evidence, could be... okay, apparently there's something... that's just here. There's that, so... not that. We're right on top of it. We need to go to our left more. Up here, there should be some more stuff, apparently. To my right. Hey, we have marked all the evidence. Apparently there's something else this way, but I do believe that will just be trash. There's an Atari. Brilliant. I like it. Right, let's take some photo evidence. See what is... sorry about that. And a sudden tickle in my throat. That was weird. Right, let's get the pictures. Right, now where's my last circle? All the way up there. You can just see the blue circle in the distance. Just all the way up here. Right, so we're going to take a picture of this evidence. So we've got the potential for him to be drinking with a little hip flask. We've got evidence of it starting all the way back here. Let's call the technicians, get Mr. Wolf to move this back to our garage, our warehouse, our hangar, so that we can thoroughly investigate everything. Nice, let's go. Mr. Wolf has moved everything back. I like it a lot. Read the documents on the case files. Let's go. Right, case file. We have Carlton area, lost altitude, crashed on the territory of Blue Creek Forest Reservation. Read the flight logs. We have 14th of September, Mount Mary flight, weather okay. Mount Mary to New York flight, weather cloudy, no rainfall, flight duration 75 minutes, flight without disruptions, 1st of September. New York to Mount Mary flight, weather sunny, flight duration 80 minutes, no disruptions. So basically, they flew this a lot. New York to Boston to New York flight, weather, continuous rainfall, windy, flight duration 135 to 155 minutes. The aircraft worked without problems. 18th of August, Savannah, New York flight, weather partially cloudy, flight duration 145 minutes. Note, the engine slightly stirred. Let Paul the mechanic inspect the matter. Paul's number. Beautiful, so we've got Paul's number, we can call him now. New York, Sullivan Hills flight, weather, scattered showers, flight duration 135 minutes, aircraft operational. Mount Mary to New York flight, weather okay, flight duration 70 minutes, all systems operational. Okay, right, now we have the testimonial log. No, the technical log, sorry. Comprehensive technical review of the aircraft in Aerotech. So now we have Aerotech's repaired the plane. Replace components, all fluids in the aircraft, air and fuel filters, no other malfunctions. Aerotech service, replace the components, set of tyres. Servicing in Aerotech, replace components, fuel line set, body control system, hydraulic system in the right side of the body. Servicing in Aerotech, replace components, all fluids, cockpit, heating system repair. Servicing in Aerotech, propeller replacement, excess mileage, replacement of steering lines in the left wing. Review in Flycraft, replacement of tyres, replacement of window in the right door, rest of the components functional. Servicing in Flycraft, replacement of ailerons in both wings, fixing the altimeter, conservation of the yoke, replacement of all positions and signal lights. After the replacements, the aircraft underwent a review and at present requires no further conservation. Okay, so it was serviced by 2 different companies. Right, we have witnesses. Sheriff. Well, a tragedy's happened. Not much is left of the man. I managed to find out that the people who saw the accident were Helen and Old Bill. Go and ask them. Maybe they'll tell you something more. Dr. Quinsby. Cause of the pilot's death were the numerous internal injuries caused by the aircraft crashing into the ground. I've excluded the participation of third party. So he wasn't murdered at the minute. It's good that such tragedies seldom occur in our area. Okay, so there's no foul play. My God, what a tragedy. He had found out that Margaret, that is his wife, had gone to their house in the mountains, not alone, but with a lover. He wanted to catch them red-handed. I brought him to the airport. He got in the aircraft, and the mechanic Paul was responsible for the aircraft. Maybe he will know something more about it. Another person worth asking is Mrs. Goldberg. I don't believe this to be an ordinary accident. So he's calling murder straight away. He is calling murder straight away. Okay, photos. Photo doesn't add anything to the case. Photo doesn't add anything to the case. Photo doesn't add anything to the case. Alcohol. Check whether Goldberg could have been drunk. Photo doesn't add anything. The aileron is far from the wreckage. So we do have that we can go on. Right, call some people. Right, mechanic Paul. I'm working aircraft for almost 20 years. 7 of 8 have been with the Goldbergs. When I do things, it's always top notch. I never allow myself any screw ups. You can check it by making a scan. I was driving with my kids and I saw a falling plane. It was flying in a slanted way as if it had trouble staying in the air. Steering, send the aileron for further inspection. Old Bill. Oh man, I was coming out to throw some grain to them chickens and I see this big old plane going right down. Black smoke coming out of its tail. Must have been some engine malfunction. I mean, I know. Back in Vietnam I served in the Air Force. Dr. Quinsby. Leave a message. Mrs. Goldberg. Leave a message. The assistant, leave a message. Okay, right. So let's put some clues on this board now. We have the assistant. We have the alcohol. We have mechanic Paul. We have Helen. We have the aileron. We have Old Bill. We have the engine. Okay, so assemble the aircraft. Right, so we need this fresh battery. And let's start assembling the aircraft. The yoke goes in here. Hatch goes there. Flap goes there, but doesn't attach to anything yet because we have nothing there. The aileron goes there, but it doesn't attach to anything yet. We have the left seat. We have the right seat. Okay, why can I not? We have the prop. We have the left door. We have the wing. Right, we have the flap. And we have the aileron. Right, now, okay, we need a new battery for our drill. Stick one in for when we need it later. Right, now let's scan the aircraft skin. Scan of the surface. I like this game. Like, this game is really, really in depth. It's really fun. It's genuinely a really enjoyable game. Right, we're now going to scan this whole aircraft. Okay, right. Now, we need to take the engine and the aileron. No damage. Discuss with mechanic Paul. Right, send parts for an examination. So we need to remove the engine. We need the aileron. Then we need to remove the engine. Okay, we're going to send the engine as well. Send the hip flask to the lab. Let's go. Okay. There we go. Call the witnesses. Let's phone some witnesses. Right, mechanic Paul. Told you the plane was functional. The plane's last review was at Aerotech. Mrs. Goldberg brought the plane back herself. Is the wafer pilot? Of course. It was her who usually flew the plane to the mountains. Right, so now we need to ring Aerotech. Can I help you? Did we take care of Goldberg's plane? Yes, as far as I can remember, Mrs. Goldberg brought it here personally about a year ago. It all looked good in the papers. Maybe Jim, who conducted the inspection, will be able to tell you something more. Unfortunately, he's not at work today. Please try reaching him on his phone. Mechanic Jim. Leave a message. Okay. Now we can talk to Mrs. Goldberg. Oh well, a violent life and a violent death. He was always a ticking bomb. I never knew when he would explode and start another fight. I had wanted to break up for a long time, but my husband didn't want to give me a divorce. How did we meet? Ironically, many years ago, we met in an aero club. Let's call the assistant. Things had been sour between the Goldbergs for a long time. She wanted a divorce, and he would say it would be over his dead body. It was about their common property, $1 million. For some time, Mrs. Goldberg would take the plane and look for some peace and quiet in the mountains. It's very suspicious that this time she did not take the plane. Okay, so she didn't take the plane. Why? Is the question that we have to ask. Right, inbox from the chemical lab. Having conducted the analysis, we confirm there is a 15-year-old Scotch whiskey inside. Okay, called Dr. Quimby. There was whiskey in the hip flask. I recommend a blood test. Check whether Goldberg was piloting under the influence of alcohol. Order a blood test. So, how do we do that? The wife is a pilot too. Aerotech. Murder. There is alcohol inside. Right. Let's get everything back out. The engine is there. An email has arrived. Let's check the email. See what... This is really in-depth. I like it. Having conducted a series of tests, we found no technical malfunctions. During the crash, the engine was operational. Okay, that engine was functional. So, that's fine. Right, so now let's check the ailerons. Right, was there anything wrong with the ailerons? From the aerodynamics department, we've checked the aileron and the preliminary analysis showed that the aileron could have fallen off before hitting the ground. We suspect it to be the fault of the applied mounting screws. We recommend further examination of screws. How do I order a blood test? Right, so how do I order a Goldberg's blood test? Because I haven't been told this. Ah, there we go. I just had to click on outbox. It didn't give me that information to begin with, but... Right, unscrew the mounting screws, which would be... Where? Oh, disassembly stand. Okay, that's new. That's new. Okay, it didn't tell us about that, did it? So, there we go. Only because I clocked it say disassembly stand. Right, so we've sent that off now. Okay, call the witnesses. Hello, yes. I was the one that made the last inspection. Well, I mean, in general, it was all good. The aileron didn't touch it. If it was replaced, it must have been done earlier and not in our place. Mrs. Goldberg, the blonde one, pretty hot for her age, by the way. Did I talk to her now? I'm kind of shy with women. Okay, check the... Who else have I got to call? Technical log. When was the aileron done? It was done in Flycraft. Right. Inbox. Chemical lab. We confirmed there was 15-year-old scotch. Morgue diagnosis. There's no alcohol. Right, so there's that. Okay, let's check the results of this mountain screws. Right, okay. The delivered screws had been made from poor quality steel and had no required attestations. Such screws should never be used in aircraft where all parts must endure exceptionally difficult operating conditions. Regards. Okay. Technical log. Right, flycraft. Goldberg's plane inspection. Please give me a moment. I'll check. The plane was brought by Mr. Goldberg personally. It was about 3 years ago. We made the inspection and replaced the aileron. Among other things, young Tom was taking care of it. I'll give you his phone number. Maybe he'll tell you something more. Let's ring the lawyer. I can confirm that on this feral day, Mrs. Goldberg arrived at my office and we took care of her divorce papers. A proof. If there's a need, I can provide the monitoring footage from the office reception hall. Okay, let's ring young Tom. Goldberg's plane, I remember it well. This Goldberg guy kept on screaming that he wanted it all to go faster, an exceptionally unpleasant character. If I wasn't at work, I'd punch him in the face. The aileron. Yes, I replaced it. Problem with the screws? I got no idea. I ordered the screws at All Stuff Inc. Yeah, I can send the order. Okay. So, I would take her out of the thing because she's got that alibi confirmed. Right, flycraft. Wait for the email from Flycraft. All Stuff Inc. We have indeed sold such screws, but it was clearly stated in the advertisement that they had no attestation. Since they are collector's item, I'm attaching a screen from a shop as proof. Okay, let's call young Tom. Oh, I knew it would come back to bite us. These screws. Goldberg kept screaming he was in a hurry and he had to have the plane ready right at that moment. Unfortunately, there were no aileron screws anywhere. Missing stocks. I was sick and tired of that guy and the fact that he kept screaming at me. I wanted him off my back, so I ordered replacements for the screws on the internet. They said they were no different from the originals. I was young and stupid and definitely would not now. Believe me. Okay, so he killed him, technically, yeah? Explanation of the cause of the crash. Helen saw a plane flying in a slanted manner, which lost control ability. The cause has been the aileron, which got detached from the wing. This was caused by a fracture in the bolts fastening the aileron. The bolts did not have the right acetation. They shouldn't have been used in the aircraft. Young Tom, the mechanic, had used uncertified bolts in order to fulfill Goldberg's unrealistic expectations as quickly as possible. This rush turned out to have fatal consequences. What happened to the characters later? Young Tom has been accused of dereliction of duty and negligent homicide and might be facing up to 8 years in prison. The interesting thing is that Mrs. Goldberg has paid for Tom's attorney from her own resources. She claims that her husband was a raging nutcase who would force others to obey him, so it wasn't the boy's fault, and he wanted to fulfill Goldberg's absurd demands as quickly as possible. Mrs. Goldberg inherited all the family fortune after her husband's death. She decided to permanently move to the mountains and settled down with a new partner. She hired her attorney to run the company. The assistant was fired by Mrs. Goldberg. Due to baseless accusations, the boy did not receive positive letters of recommendation and has been having trouble finding work for a while now. The life of remaining people hasn't changed significantly. Still, the crash will remain in their memory for a long time. Mission accomplished. Due to your inquisitiveness, we managed to determine the true cause of the disaster. The investigation lasted 20 minutes 12 seconds. Congratulations. Take on the next case. That was a fun little case. That was a really, really fun little case with a little twist. I genuinely thought we might have a murder case. But we don't. We don't. We just have a malfunction instead. So that was a fun little case. If you enjoyed that, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are going to continue playing through next episode, and I will be trying to get an episode of this every couple of days until we've completed it. Also, be sure to check out for some retro gaming. I want to bring some retro gaming to the channel alongside the simulator stuff. Starting with some of my childhood favourites, like Metal Gear Solid, things like that. If that's something you'd be interested to see, any retro games you'd like to see me play, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Until next time, peace out.